And so are you. Carmen, hello, good to see you. I'm gonna put him up even. Carmen, you're always first in my heart. Though I have to point out that it is definitely Sarah who's first. I've been feeling very intense purging last day or two as well, heat and cold and crying a lot. Apparently there was another comment from Vanya before that that's not coming up here. So anyway, hello everybody. There's a lot going on. The energies that are coming in have been pretty intense for most of us. I've been really finding this emotional up and down stuff. It's been kind of difficult. Um, there's some real density coming through, on and off. Like it feels really unpleasant when we're in it too. And then okay, here's one right here. Soul Z says the same thing. This depression, this feeling of just this low, like, oh, like I'm just done kind of stuff. A lot of this coming in for many of us. Um, Today is a portal day. It's not like you normally have where it's like double digits in the like it's a February 22nd as the example for the last portal that we had. This one's a big one. This one's a big one. And so being that we are in the I'm in the northern hemisphere here. It's not the 29th, it's not leap day, but leap day is already happening in the southern hemisphere. And I think that's why a lot of us are already feeling it. It kind of feels like almost like all of a sudden there's just no other energy around. It's just you. And it doesn't feel that great. And this like aggravation, tension, nervousness, like irritation, anxiety stuff from the outside feels like it's kind of like starting to like affect us and get in, and so there is a lot of that coming in right now. Um, um, yeah, Carmen from the Philippines. That's right. Good to see you, buddy. I'm happy to see that you're back again, Carmen. I've missed you, buddy. Hello, Janet. Hello. It's good to see you. Spiritual warrior. Can't wait. Fleur de lis. It feels like the last stages of pregnancy, and we're about to give a good way of saying it. Thank you for using these words, Fleur de lis. There has been a lot of this for me too. And, as a personal side note, many of us are what I'm calling the rag queens, the lunar rag queens, rather, because for one reason or another, my I'm synced up with the full moon now, and it's been like that for a little while, and it's been really big, a lot to come in. And like I keep thinking, man, those who are going through menopause or something like that right now, my hat is off to you. When we're already feeling all of this from the outside and then having this other thing going on in a physical way, it can be really feel very disruptive and unpleasant. And so like Janet says, yes, in the birth canal. Yeah, so this is actually what's happening in a lot of ways. The visual I was given, and I've been being given, is that as this conjunction that's happening right now and moving into tomorrow, specifically leap day, it only happens every 4 years. It's kind of an awesome day to be a part of. Um, there's this kind of like a bridge, a birth canal happening from the sun. There's going to be some extra awesomeness coming from the sun. I actually peeked right before I came on, and I see that it says that current value for solar flares is an M1. So this is in the middle. This is like, not very big. I keep feeling like every time we look, we're going to see something really big happening. It will. I'm sure of it. We're at some a time right now where we're being given a lot of different stuff. As a result, many people are feeling like this shaky experience. It feels almost like nervousness inside. I just and oh my goodness, this nervous tummy kind of feeling that's been coming in and out, like in the solar plexus area has been kind of unpleasant for me. I know a lot of other people have been experiencing it, feeling really tired. Oh yes, there we go. Deb says this, feeling really tired, so friggin' tired but happy. Yeah, exhausted is not even a big enough word to describe what I've been experiencing. I totally agree. Um, Lots of triggers coming up for individuals too, and so I kind of wanted to point that out for a minute, is that these triggers are activations. You know, they're things coming in that help us. Looking back over the course of, let's go to October and to now, you know, how many times have we been finding ourselves in places where we've been extra triggered, you know, and these triggers always end up, now looking from this vantage point, very, very useful and helpful for us through our journey and our evolution. Is bringing up what we need to resolve, what's left that's been made unseen by us by ignoring it, so we can then address. And this is not a, oh boy, I forgot to say, Jessica said so many weird things happening. Yeah, on a global scale, on a galactic scale, cosmic scale. They that lunar landing thing that happened is kind of hilarious. This whole thing. I don't know if anyone has been aware of this whole lunar thing. It's been kind of entertaining. That they sent it to the moon, and it was meant to land on the 222 portal. Um, I'm not sure what really happened, and it doesn't really matter, but I find it interesting that they named it the I am, I am, I am. So it's something that's with the moon activation, the way that it's occurring right now, there's a lot happening with that. So yeah, a lot of weird things globally. I don't follow any kind of local news or any global news at all. I have no interest. The only reason I know about this lunar thing is I went onto YouTube to post something and it was the first thing that came up for me, the suggested thing. And I don't follow anything like that, but when those come up, it's time for me to look at it, you know, and it's some kind of code. And when I clicked it, it was going to be landing in 3 hours and 33 minutes. And it was on the 222 portal. There's just a lot about that. I guess it fell over or something. It doesn't really matter. Um, the fact that that's happening. Hey, Leah, good to see you, sweetie. Lucia says it's so strange. So glad to, oh, I'm sorry. Paula says, so glad to watch this live. Greetings from the island of Crete. Hey, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And so any of you who are part of my Telegram group, I did a small group meditation yesterday. And I took an audio with my phone. We had people coming in, so I wasn't using this microphone, which is a noise canceling one. So there's a little bit of probably background noise, but this group meditation was really unexpected how it ended up. We went through a series of 7 suns and brought this energy to the earth. And so anyway, I posted this audio in the Telegram group. You can join that group by clicking the link here below and find it there. I have it pinned for anyone who's interested. This is a timeless meditation, though I understood that it was encouraged. Those who joined this meditation they were suggested to do it also for the 29th. This will help a lot of the energies. It has to do with soul retrieval. It's kind of like shadow work, inner child work, kind of a concept, but it was really beautiful and fascinating. So anyone who missed that, you're welcome to do it there and find it in that Telegram group. Rusty says, morning from Mount George, NSW, Australia. Oh, cool. Mount George. That's an interesting code. Thank you for that code, Rusty. Deb says, let's pray for those who do not understand what's happening. Spread the love and the light. There's a lot. That's actually, I feel like, well, it's been confirmed by spirit for me, is that a lot of this stuff coming in, that's like, aggravation, and it's the panic of the people that don't know what's going on, is what really a lot of it is anyway. We're also kind of in the spin cycle of like the washing machine concept of it's letting the things that don't serve us kind of float up to the surface so we can see it, so they can be released and resolved in this way. So anyone who's feeling this, know that you're not alone. And yes, the answer to this I found is it feels like ignoring it in a way, but it's sending light to it when it's coming. We're not being asked to ignore anything. In fact, when things come up, to lean into it and to allow yourself to experience it. Hey, it's 1:11 p.m. right now. and allowing yourself to experience it, lets it go. The actual Archangel Michael says that we are meant to acknowledge it without judgment and to release it with love. Judgment does not mean we're saying it's bad or saying something unkind about it. It's saying that we're saying something about it, that we're deciding something about it. Is it red? Is it blue? Is it um, is it wet? Is it dry? These anything that we decide about it, because it's not being, hey, remember what you felt like when you were here. It's saying, this happened. This happened. Allow yourself to accept, to feel it, and to let it go, and to send it with love, because it actually did help us at one time. Just kind of hindering us at this point, as well as connecting with this higher frequency, or this global collective consciousness frequency. A lot of the individuals who are awakening right now are um, uh, not fully aware of what's happening. And so they're in kind of a bit of a panic. And so we're feeling a lot of these individuals as well. And so sending out love and light to these individuals will assist them and you, because then you don't have to feel it so much. That was crazy. I just looked up and I'd been on for 11 minutes, 11 seconds, and there's 101 people here. And I just saw 111. There's something about ones right now. Holy cow. Odin. If Elsa was here, she would be talking about Odin. And there's a lot of Odin stuff coming in. Um, Denise says, I so need to raise my vibration, battle weary. Yeah. Raising our vibrational frequency is something that is very simple, though sometimes it's difficult when we're in something that's unpleasant. And so allowing ourselves to acknowledge, to notice the light spark inside ourselves, this beautiful, beautiful, bright light, and watch it grow. And the glow continues to expand, and all the things that aren't in alignment with this light cannot be inside the light. So it kind of pushes it out. And then as it goes far enough out into your energy sphere, after it gets to like the tips of your fingers, basically on your energy sphere, then it is able to leave. And so they also find it, these energies always send back gratitude of being their liberator, you letting them go. So hello, Danita. Good to see you. Hello, Ralph. Hi, Mila. Hi, all. Love from Scotland. Going through menopause. Oh, man. I just said that. Denise, I feel for you, girl. Man, this is some interesting stuff coming in right now. Spiritual warrior. I had a ridiculous purge yesterday. Couldn't stay out of the bathroom. This has been happening for a lot of us. Wasn't sick, and no change in diet. Just the colon sweeping out the corners, almost like the ladies' days cleaning cycle. Yeah. Yeah, this is happening for a lot of people. I've been noticing the connection in a collective conscious way, or a global way. There's a lot of stuff going on, specifically with the solar plexus, and also, this root chakra and sacral chakra area, though, particularly this solar plexus. And there's like this nervous tummy kind of stuff going on. And as it's coming up, it's kind of expanding. I'm noticing it becoming an energy. What is the right word? I want to call it a portal, but it's an access point. And so, by the way, this is something that I got that came in like one of those big downloads where you're drilling at the wall. And part of it was that we are now reaching a place where we have not been in a molecular way for our bodies. And in particular, an individual I was meeting with, this came through for it, and it was for all this global experience. What does that mean? Is that we have a molecular memory bank of what it's like, and then so we get to another place. Sometimes it feels weird in an intellectual way, but then we're like, oh yeah, I know how to do this. We kind of have like muscle memory kind of an idea. We're not now we're now in a place where we've never been before, and so it's unfamiliar, and we're not really sure where to put our knees, kind of thing. And so there's just this learning a new world kind of experience. I know I've said this before, but I'm going to point it out again because I find this to be so beautiful. Is that, as many of you know, I've been in interaction with people who have passed since I was very young, and always when someone passes, right before it too, sometimes they pass, as well as about a week or so after they pass. They come through pretty regularly. You have conversation with them, you feel them a lot, and then they go somewhere. They do come back, and there's communication and stuff, but there's like a another location or different frequency that they go to. And as of late, they're not going anywhere. And I was like, what is that? That's because we're at where they go. And so we're finding too that there's more frequencies, more energies kind of here because we're already where they're going. It's kind of cool. Sherry says, oh my, hi, have heard and seen bridge so very much last few days. Yes, lots of going on. This bridge that's happening. So we're the bridge people. This is what I've been given for a while, is we're called the bridge people. And so this bridge people, as we um, are kind of bridging the frequency. So let me put this off so you can see. Um, a lot of people will say we're in 5D, we're in 4D, we're in 9D, and let's call this 3D. And none of those words actually really resonate with me, but that's how we describe it. And but what actually happens is we go like this. We're more of like a metronome, whatever. We kind of move in our places depending on where our frequency is, right? And we're bridging. So as we go back down, we don't know why we're going back down at first, and then we realize what we're doing is we're showing the way. We're showing that there is a bridge. In the earlier days of this bridge message that I've been given was that as we step upon the bridge, then others can see that there is a bridge there to step upon. Kind of like stepping out into the unknown, and then finding that your foot has a place to stand, and then those behind us can then see that there's a place to go. And so a lot of us are doing this kind of work. um, Stacy says, hi, all my bones feel like they are being ripped off my ligaments. So uncomfortable. Oh, that sounds awful. um, I know that I had a lot of stuff going on with my legs and my arms, a lot of crazy muscular stuff, though. Oh, for those of you who have been asking, thank you. So last Sunday, that's what we're on today, this way, instead of having a guest, is that we decided to have a control burn here to kind of clean up some of the stuff that the briars or whatever that needed to be cleaned up. And then the wind picked up. I was getting ready for my show, and then the wind picked up, and the fire got out of control. And so, and it became, we needed to call help. And so it ended up burning 11 acres, which is okay. There's like 152 acres. So it was just really close to the house. And it was, anyway. So what was fascinating was 11 acres and 11 service vehicles came to help us. Not all at once. Some came and left, but it was really fascinating. 11. So anyway, everyone's okay. It's just I wasn't able to go live. We were out there fighting fire. I was in my flip flops and my cotton shorts and a rake, and I was like putting out the fire with everybody else, bringing out buckets of water best we could, and trying to control it before the fire department came. And I just couldn't come on. So thank you all for all of your concern. Crystal, hi Mila, sisters and brothers, super exhausted. You look amazing, sister. Oh, thank you. I love this sweater. It's cold today for here, for what it's been like. The past couple of days, I've been writing it down, only the past 2 days, but we've been breaking records. Like literally, it's never been documented having been as hot as it's been this time of year ever. It's never been recorded, at least in the records that we have access to. And so we've been breaking these records, and it's been like in the 80s, 70s, and 80s for a long time. And right now it's 47 degrees Fahrenheit, which is beautiful for this time of year from where I come from. But man, having been so hot lately, it's pretty cold feeling. Amber says, yes, the nerves. Yeah, it's gonna be this nerve stuff as it's coming up. It's really uncomfortable. And just knowing when you're in it, when you're feeling it, there's no concern. You don't have to do anything. There's nothing to be worried about. In fact, over and over and over, just be. That's what we keep getting. Just be. Just be. You're all right. You're okay. Let it move through you. Let it come up and move through you. As you move through it, as it moves through you, you can um, find that it's kind of like a trigger. Like we talked about triggers being activation points, so are these moments that are coming in for this nervousness. It's stuff that needs to go. This is stuff that we've been holding in our body, in our molecular being, that just needs to go. I don't want it, so I'm happy for it to go, though it is unpleasant. um, the guidance I keep being given is, please don't feed into it, or to, like, there's nothing to figure out. You're okay. Just be in your moment, do what it is that you need to do to be okay, be in your space, breathe, meditation, even if it's not like in trance kind of deep meditation, just being in the quiet space and letting yourself observe the noises in your surroundings, and allow yourself to just be in this settled place, pulling in the loving light of God and the loving light of Gaia, and being in this place. Filling yourself up is all we need to do. It will go, as it has been, as Evolve noticed. Jessica says, yeah, I've had the nervous tummy feeling too, out of nowhere, no reason. Exactly. And as it's coming through, just let it go. Just let it move through. There's nothing to figure out. It just is, and let it move on. Anna, good to see you. Hi, beloved star. It's so good to see you, sweetie. Anna just had a really awesome interview yesterday. For anyone who's interested, I had shared it in Facebook. So if anyone's interested, click on that. She's getting some really cool stuff coming out. Killjoy says lots of ear ringing and remembering dreams. Dream recollection has been improving across the board for most people. And then it's what's interesting, a few others are telling me that all of a sudden they have no recollection at all. I know that I am awakened abruptly for more precise and accurate dream recollection. So for me, this is what they're doing for me, which means I don't get very much restful sleep these days, because there's so much more that I'm being meant to recall. And so I'm waking up, every hour or every 2 hours, every night, throughout the night. It's kind of frustrating, and while we're there, we're also doing extra work. And so we're not getting the deep, restful, recovery kind of sleep that our bodies are familiar with. So please be gentle with yourself as this happens. You're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot happening. Um, Hi, Tan. It's good to see you. Higher vibrations. Love you. Love you, sweetie. It's good to see you here. Um, wow, I got a lot of comments that I've been missing, so I'm going to jump ahead real quick so I don't. Um, oh, Charmony's here. Hello. Love to all. Okay. Love to all through these wild times. Gotta laugh, cry, feel it all. Relax, let go, simply be the observer. That's right. Allowing it to move through. And just exactly as Charmony here said, Diamond Heart 888 says, just it's similar to if you are in a very populated pedestrian place, like a square where there's a lot of people walking around. We can either let these energies, these individuals, walk past us, or we can grab them and try to interact with them, and which most of us are introverts. So I can say that we're not accustomed to doing that, grabbing, just grab somebody and saying, talk to me. However, a lot of us, that's what we've been doing with these other energies that are coming through. We grab onto them, as well as the emotional body ones, and so allowing them to just come through, feel them, and let them move through. All things are not actually ours, are part of us. They are, something that's moving through on the outside. As we are moving through this frequency, by the way, I'm sure many of you are noticing that your manifestation is kind of coming on stronger and stronger. Um, I would say that manifestation used to be a couple of years, in bigger ways. The result of seeing the result of manifestation, we sometimes would be that long, and now we're finding that it's only a few months. You know, and so noticing this and allowing yourself to be aware of your thoughts, how we're asking for things. Mother Mary comes through, and she always wants to. It's useful to listen to this message of hers where she says that when we plan for the worst case scenario, when we're thinking about if this bad thing happens, then I can blah, 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 and you're preparing for it, that's also manifestation, and so just allowing yourself to, it's going to take some time. So there's no fear here. You're learning how to play with a new toy. So allow yourself to change that thought and to pull it into something else. What's fascinating, and I don't know exactly why, though, the unpleasant stuff tends to be louder, not just in manifestation, but also when we're healing energy bodies. As we heal these things from our past that have kind of overshadowed all other things, we're finding that there are other beautiful memories that can be recalled beneath, and those also can be released, once they're able to be seen. you know so allow yourself to you know let's fly again every time I come on here. Hello, Susan, good to see you. Mary Ellen says good morning from Cabo. Awesome. Killjoy, welcome, Mary Ellen. Killjoy says, I'm remembering dreams all of a sudden. Awesome. There you go. There's a lot of this coming through right now. A lot of people are starting to get um, all night long kind of dreams too. And it's so deep. We can have conversation. We can have an experience that lasts in this time, 5 minutes, that could be hours of information. Susan says, so much going on. Talk just does not suffice. As soon as I begin to speak, the subject changes. Yeah. Yep. There's so much happening. It's rapid fire, just like dream state time, right? And and there's so much of it that's coming in. There's so much of it that's um being understood and recalibrated so we can have it in our energy experience, that by the time that it's fully integrated, it doesn't take very long. Often I forget that there's even something significant to talk about it. So it's something that I'm finding that when it does become something that's important and useful for someone else, for others, then it comes up. I'm finding that there's like, when someone asks the question, it triggers that bit of information. Something else that's happening right now that I should bring up is that, as we're moving into this higher frequency, part of what this belly, the nervous belly kind of stuff isn't actually an unpleasant or a not good thing. It's a lot of it has to do with us being in this new energetic space. We're in a place where we haven't been before, and it feels disruptive to the system. Often this does cause, or is the a result of it, is that we find ourselves shaking or feeling like nervous, jittery inside as we are doing this. Just know that's okay. You're okay. That whatever's meant to be alerted for you will be a very, very apparent. So you don't have to like dig into it and kind of create an unpleasant experience. So like what I'm trying to explain is, as these higher energetic beings come in, often, at least for me, I find that my body starts to kind of shake. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of really cool energy. And so it's just like, whoa, it's kind of a shock to your system. We're all doing this in a grand scale. The earth itself looks bigger. I don't know if anyone has noticed that. It looks bigger and fuzzier, like more vegetation, more life, and it's more vibrant now. There's something that's been shifted. This shift really is. This is the third step today slash tomorrow. This is the third conjunction of the three steps. There are many, and they go through the year. Though these three are the ones that we're in right now. We also have 4 eclipses this year, which I think is really fascinating. So as this stuff's coming in, Well, know that you're okay, that you are protected, and that you are safe. This is something that I'm supposed to say right now. Thank you for is that um, allowing what we're doing right now has to do with a multitude of choice making. We're given options here. Which one do you want to pick? Which one do you want to pick? Which one do you want to pick? And it feels like the same thing. And it kind of is, because we're choosing time and time again the higher timeline, the higher timeline. If you choose the lower, or what, I don't know, I don't like those words, the higher and lower. However, if you choose this other timeline or the other experience, it's not that gonna change your week. It's gonna change your day, just your day. That's why there's so much. Here you go. What do you want? This? Do you want this? Do you want this? And so it's just asking you, are you sure? Basically, giving you the option that the the realm that we are in is all about free will, consent, and what we have done globally, starting really in a very profound way in October, was that in a global way, we've been pulling back our consent. Before, there was like a blanket consent, yes to all of it, you know. And wow, we got 132 people here, and it's 1:32 p.m. That's fun. Um, and so, as we pulled back our consent, some of these other things that used to just be easy to just, dish out can't be done this way any longer. And so, now we're getting this and this and this. And so, giving you the option to choose. And that's all. That's all. So, allowing yourself to be in this space and understand that you're okay is exactly what you're meant to do at this time. Andrew, love from Heber Springs, Arkansas. Awesome. I'm in Arkansas too. That's cool. I'm over in Boonville. I can't say it the way that the locals say it. You're not supposed to say the L somehow. Boonville. Boonville. I'm not. I'm learning how to say it. Um, but yeah, that's so cool. It's really interesting how many people are in this area right now and how many people are being drawn to this area. And, to remind of those of you who are interested, we are having a gathering here for the eclipse. We're in the line of totality here on this mountain of 152 acres. This foresty mountain is really pretty and beautiful place with the bedrock of crystal, and it's really um, a beautiful place to be. So anyone who would like to join us here for our party, from April 4th to the 9th, or you're welcome to click on the link. There's also, you can be here longer. There's a second option to be here from like the 2nd to the 12th. I can't remember what it's called. It was like called the Galactic or the Lunar New Year's on the 10th of April. So some people are staying for that. I know a lot of people are coming on the 2nd. Judy says solar plexus links to our emotions, and a lot of these emotions. This is energy in motion. A lot of these emotions we've kept kind of prisoner. We've kept not letting it go, and these energies, these energy bodies, these emotions do have some kind of consciousness to them. I understand them as consciousness, and as they come in, and we hold on to them, they're like, oh, you want me to stay? Okay, I'll hang out, and then they just kind of stay, and it weighs us down. And so we're being asked to just let them move through us. And this is exactly yeah, that's another big reason why we're feeling this solar plexus experience right now. Rose matter cramps for a few days now. Yeah, man, this whole area right here. This is also the area of manifestation, and so allowing ourself to understand that we're manifesting and how that's done. Basically, whatever signal you send out to the universe and say that you want, comes. Now, the universe doesn't use words like we do. So when we use words, that's fine. What's perfect, actually, it's just remembering that we want to hold the resonance of it. We want to believe it. Know what you're saying is true. And so bringing the emotion up of what it's like when you are in the place of the thing that happened, that you're manifesting. Often people will write it down like a diary or a letter home, being like, hey, mom, guess what just happened? Woohoo, kind of thing. This really does help. And allowing ourselves to be more precise in our manifestation. When we are saying that things that are low self-worth, saying things like whether or not you actually do deserve something or are worthy of something, it takes away from it and often causes the opposite effect. And so it's not something to be worried about. It's just useful to practice, learn to practice. Deborah says hi from Toronto. Hello, good to see you. M class solar flare reported 4 minutes ago. Yeah, that's what I saw right before I came on. Or was it another one? Let's check it out real quick. Let's pull it up. I go to spaceweatherlive.com. Oh my goodness. This is backwards, isn't it? I don't know why they do that. Anyway, so we have, yeah. So we just got another one. Yeah. This one's a M1.29. The one before that was a M1.5. These smaller solar flares, like this they still affect us. Even the B solar flares, the B ones, they're starting to report those for some reason. They do affect us, though. From what I understand, we're expected for tomorrow to get a couple of X-class flares. This isn't the flash people talk about. Like, I don't resonate with that storyline in the way that people tell it. I do know that the sun's activating us and assisting us at this time. And as this comes in, allow yourself to just, open up to it and accept what's coming in. If you can, allow yourself to rest as much as possible. I find it very useful to be on my own as much as I can during these experiences, because the agitation and all these kind of things that are coming up to get to leave are triggered by this. These are activations when we get these solar flares. They're to help us. They're not being done to us. They're being, it's like gifts. And there's these energy portals that are starting to happen in a more accessible way within our planet, within the place that we reside. And so a lot of us are being called to go down. There's also a lot of energies and portals overhead, above us. And so whichever way you're called to go, I find that it's useful to do both, and if I'm focusing too much on going down, then we start to go up. I was going up for a long time, and all of a sudden I just get all this, like there's that movie, Don't Look Up or whatever or something, and then like the fleur de lis, look down, all these things kept coming in, and like it was, and so I was meant to remember that the knees, just like my buddy Scott says, you need to bend your knees to jump, right? And so there's this, you go down and you find that this is a place that's garnering your power and your strength. And I believe it has something also to do with familiarity. When we go to a place that we're most familiar, energetically speaking, then we are most confident and we are able to be in our power without concern and worry. And I think this is part of it as well. Valerie says, even for the people who know what's going on, it's hard too. It's very heavy. It's been real heavy. Man, for a little bit there. Yeah, I was like, I've, as you all know, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky kind of person. I typically don't have, and since October, pretty much every month there's been something new for me to, well, September actually. Yeah, it was August. Is as these things come in, we're meant to experience them so they can move through. And for me to have those experiences, it was kind of startling, and each time that they've come in, I know that you all can relate to me in saying that. Like, we tend to be pretty balanced people. We're not extreme emotional bodies. In fact, people who have like really extreme emotions are like really hard for me. Like when someone gets really upset, or I find that my body immediately brings up the adrenaline, and I'm like a fainting goat. I can't, my legs get weak. And a lot of us have these types of experiences, though now we're finding ourselves having these extreme emotions coming in, and it's like, whoa, it's okay. You're not alone, and this is not a new standard. This is not how things are going to be, moving forward. It's just moments as they come in, letting them be seen so they can go, so they don't have to, continue to like just kind of be stuck, and something that's not really serving us in any way. RMA says, I just feel like I have been in some sort of limbo the past few months. Yeah, not sad, but not happy either. So unmotivated. I don't have energy. I just feel so off. This is something that I've been experiencing too. You know, um, I would say that the happy has been coming in quite a lot for me, though. There is this extra balance feeling that is a foreign, more balance, and you could say, because not sad, not happy, just, and that's something that I was guided to write, right on Facebook right before I came on, is that all you're meant to do right now is just be. All you got to do is be, is what they said. All you got to do is be, and they kept saying it. And um, what does that mean? Breathe. Be in the moment that you're in. What's coming forward, what's coming into your awareness at this moment. We're not blocking people, we're not turning off our phone, though. We're also not reaching out. We're not reaching out. Some energies, as they reach out to us, we're finding that it's just, we just don't even want to click it, and that's okay. That's totally fine. However, I'm finding that when things come into my awareness, that's the thing to do right now in that moment. And so um, as this is happening, more and more of these energy beings, I don't know what other word to use. Some of them are often called angels. Some of them are called inner earth beings. Some of them are all the same thing. It's just whatever culture or background you come from. As they're coming in, they're assisting us to help us stabilize, and they're excited. They're excited. They're like, "You're here now, yay!" And it feels not yay. It feels ick, And it's like, "Why are you celebrating, dude? What are you doing?" And this is useful to understand, as it's coming in, that this is something that they're celebrating and that they're excited for. And so it does help to know that it's good. It just perhaps doesn't feel that way. Clarissa says throat issues, especially on the right side. So let's talk about the throat stuff. A lot of people are having this. And it was like fire. Like my throat felt like it was on fire. And then I was messaging with Stacy. Hey, it's 144,000. And she had said it's the dragon throat, the dragon throat, and that makes so much sense to me as well. I did want to bring something up because everyone knows that Stacy and I have conversations and stuff, and this is something that I'm pretty sure she'll be okay with me saying this. We haven't really talked for a few weeks now, and it's not because there's that we love each other and it's that we're doing the same thing y'all are doing right now. It's that pull back, really not communicating with a lot of individuals. I would say I'm more social than I would be if I wasn't doing sessions and stuff like I'm doing. Like people might not even know if I was around for weeks, maybe longer. Though this is something that's happening. This throat thing it has to do with this throat thing. Not that it hurts to talk. It's that we're having an activation in our voice and our throat right now at the same time. The symbols they gave me was first the dragon, then the rabbit, and then the bee. When they said, all you got to do is be. And I find that really interesting. And then I added the heart. Because it makes sense, and this is the unity here. So we've just left the year of the rabbit, which the symbol of rabbit is fear, and we're now in the year of the dragon, the earth dragon, I believe. I might be mistaken. I feel like that's wrong. Might be the wood dragon. Anyway, as this energy is coming in, this empowered energy, this enough of the BS. It's time to get to work or stop being silly, basically. And so as this is happening, we're finding balance in it. It just doesn't always feel the most amazing, and so it's okay. Know that you're not alone, and give yourself the time, if you can, to be in this place of just quiet. Kenny says, call pain opportunity for change. I like that. They tell me when I talk about these ascension symptoms, they talk about them and they call them growing pains. Growing pains is really cool. That makes a lot of sense to me. And earlier, I can't remember who it was now, talked about the ligament and the bone and this deep, you feel like your bones are growing kind of thing. And as well as these other ascension symptoms, they're growing pains. They're symptoms of evolution, what you're doing right now, and we often contribute work or progress to effort when on the outside, like we're busy, we're noticeably doing something, we're doing busy work, when in fact most of us are doing the work in silence, in quiet, in this. It looks like we're sleeping, but we know we're not. We're just laying there, or we're just sitting on the porch or something like that, and a lot comes in and is brought forward so we can heal through it. There's so Clarissa, I think I must have missed something from Fleur de Lis, must have said something. Purging out mucus. This mucus is something I just got coded with that a little bit ago. The message that came in was about mucus, and it's a vehicle for sending out what doesn't serve us. We've been having, here's something that's interesting to know, and this is useful, is that the egg that became you was formed and ready to be the egg that you became, or whatever, when your mother was a baby in her mother's womb. So you were in your mother's womb while your mother was in her mother's womb, in your grandmother's womb. How many generations ago was that, right? Think about all of the toxins, all of the things that people could digest, process at that time. In fact, that's what a lot of us as starseeds were guided to do back at that time, is to pull in these toxins, and now they're pushing out. And the vehicle for this, a lot of this, is this mucus. In fact, what I find fascinating is what they showed me is a lot of this mucus that's moving through us and out of us in all different ways is you could call it parasitical now at this point. Before, it was part of team body, that it had something that was to help you, and now it's time for it to go, and it's carrying other things along with it. We're also having something similar with our sweat too, finding that the sweat has something more in it, and the sweat's a vehicle to send this, help this stuff move out. I find this mucus thing really fascinating because it doesn't matter what season a person's in, what hemisphere, if in the tropics or in in the Canadian blizzards, everyone's having the same symptom. We used to contribute this to a yearly, cold season kind of thing, and it's something else. And so I find that really fascinating. Okay, I jumped way ahead. Okay, let's see. Pollen is bad here in Tennessee, Clarissa says. I know that we just jumped down to a colder climate, or not climate, but the temperature just dropped substantially. Like, we're 40 degrees warmer than we were a couple of days ago, the day before yesterday. 40 degrees colder than we were. Though there's really not been a lot of real spring kind of stuff that I'm used to having. I'm not sure if some of this has to do with just being in a different part of the country that I'm familiar with, but I do know that I've been following out of curiosity, and we're breaking records all over the place, temperature wise, different kinds of weird stuff. we're going to keep breaking records for a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. The solar flares we're going to get tomorrow, probably starting tonight. We'll notice them, and as we notice them, and as this stuff comes in, know that you're okay, that we're doing this in a collective way. As this stuff comes in, just understand that this is a temporary moment. This isn't a warning. Many people feel this urge to, like, it's like, oh no, there's something bad coming or something like that. You're feeling an echo of a time from an earlier part of either this incarnation or a different one that you need, that's being asked for you to acknowledge, to let it go. So, excuse me 1 second. Speaking of mucus, I'm just having this nose thing. I've got my appetite back, says Vegan Vixen, though not fully. I'm getting through a lot of 85% dark chocolate. Awesome. I actually haven't gotten my appetite back. I've been getting this headache, by the way, right here. I don't know if anyone, every time I say something about food, see it's just weird. I don't know. It's right here. It feels like it's like, shoop, it's just moving through and out. And it's something that's leaving. I haven't really had much of an appetite. And if you're not called to eat, you'll be okay. It's okay. If you are, do listen to your body. Listen to your body. I find dark chocolate to be really, really awesome. Cacao, uh, is really, it's not only is it incredibly filling, but there's like some frequency on it. There's something that we should talk about when it comes to food, just because it's coming in right now, is that um, we can choose what kind of code our food has as we eat it, by talking to it, by praying on your food. We used to do in the earlier days, and what that is truly sending love to it. Um, Most things are high content water, even if it doesn't appear to be something solid like chocolate. It has a lot of these water molecules, and this is just one part of it. We're going to talk about that because it's the most obvious. Dr. Emoto has shown us multiple times that as we speak to water in a kind or unkind way, then it changes the very nature of this water, and it looks so cool and beautiful when we say loving, I love you, I appreciate you, these kinds of things. And if we say unkind things, it also changes it. We do this to with our food to um, elevate it before we consume it. And so something like the example of cacao, that's why it's so useful, is the whole time you're doing you're talking about, and you're energetically in a place of love. This is about love, and you're pouring all the love into this food. Even if you're making something else, and as we do that, we're encoding the food with this higher frequency that will assist you, and that assists your body in a much more evolved way. And then also remembering that you're water, because the quote that I will never forget, and I remember watching it as a very young person. It was Star Trek Next Generation, and I was not supposed to watch it, and I was hiding and watching it. Um, is There was, I don't remember what the ET was, but they said they were calling us ugly bags of mostly water. And we are bags of water, mostly water. And when we speak unkindly or kindly to ourselves, your water hears you. Your water hears you, and it changes the frequency of your very being. That's why these words, these kind words, really do change what it feels like to be inside your energy. So doing this with yourself and with your food, with your water, with bath water, talking to water. And so just allowing yourself to um, bring in all of this higher frequency that you're about to consume really does help. And just skipped again. I'm seeing, hello, Flirtily, amen. Be the one, says Mick. Yeah. Um, right side. Wait, hold on. Kenny says right side is the masculine side. That's right. So, and the left side is the divine feminine side. So, this helps to understand when these energies come in. There's that, the side that it's on this is the area. Remembering no matter if you are a woman in physical form. Excuse me, one moment. Speaking of throat chakra stuff, no matter if you're female or male in body, we have divine masculine and divine feminine. And so, wow, as we are letting this stuff come through us, we're able to see that we're balancing both of these sides, the divine masculine and divine feminine sides. Wow, it's just not stopping. One more moment, please. Excuse me. I should probably be having some water instead of some pulp filled orange juice, but so allowing yourself to understand that helps. You could then understand what's happening and then kind of almost act accordingly. Consent is often something that is the other side of the point of this, is that, saying I accept, I'm allowing, or I'm wanting these things. When we're getting solar flare activity, this is something that I've been guided to do lately, is as the solar flare comes in or any other kind of activation like this, I hold my hands up, palms up, and this is just me. This is how one of my sign language things of I accept. I'm accepting it, and I'm taking it in instead of holding it. I'm like, I'll take it. I'll accept it, and when I open myself up to it, it's not even half as disruptive as it would be if I was like, oh, what is this? And I'll do that too. I will. There's no judgment there. Everybody has their experience, but if you can accept, allow it to come in. Fleur Lee says, I keep seeing Cinderella everywhere. Weird. Cinderella, I've been seeing Cinderella, and I've been seeing Wizard of Oz. I've been seeing also of course, a lot of Alice in Wonderland. There's so much Alice in Wonderland out there. I don't wish to go among mad people. There's just so much happening. These symbols that we've been given throughout pop culture, throughout our cartoons and our videos and our series, have been code. I'm not suggesting or encouraging anyone to go spend all their time in front of a TV at this point. However, this is stuff that we go back to now. Release all judgments. That's right, Kenny. We go back to these code that we have scattered throughout our experience, like breadcrumbs. Like the breadcrumbs, so we can remember, we can recall, we can remember, we can. And it says symbol of this is kind of funny, but it's like we're remembering. We're the members of our fingers. We're bringing ourselves back to our wholeness. And sometimes it feels like that it's more than who we are, when in fact it really is all of these elements. You are powerful. You are mighty. You are all of the things that everyone who's here right now are here because they are the most capable, and you are counted among this number. All who are present at this time are present due to the fact all who raised their hand weren't picked. Okay. All who raised their hand and said, I volunteer, I volunteer. Only those who were the most capable and had done this before are here at this time. It doesn't feel like it sometimes. Sometimes we feel like we're, in a whole new territory, and it's kind of scary feeling, and it's uncertain. We feel uncertain, and we feel like, where's the grown-ups? Where's the person that could show me the way to do this? And you already know. Trusting yourself and your inner guidance is the power that you seek. The seeking the power from the outside of us paradigm is gone. It's no longer. This does not serve us. This does not help us. This is an old way. Allowing yourself to trust in your own intuition and your inner guidance sometimes can be difficult, and I find that as we are in our awakening phase, we will reach out for more and more content, more like people like this channel or others like this, where they talk about these things openly, and mostly for validation, because most of what I say, y'all are like, oh yeah, I know that's true. Like, you already knew that inside. You didn't need me to say it, though it does help at first to be able to hear someone else say it, so we can learn to trust ourselves. That is truly what validation is intended for, is to teach you self-trust, to know that if that you are able to do this, that all things that are coming in um, are correct, are in alignment with the truth. I use pink salt in bath today. Awesome, Rose Matter. This is something that, Epsom salt baths or any kind of salt baths is really, really useful right now, especially during solar flares. Let's talk about that for a second. So we have this thing that happens with us is that, so our body likes to be full of negatively charged ions. And what happens when we get solar flares and all this staticky kind of energy comes in is these ions fill up and they become positively charged ions, right? Um, so things like interacting with salt water, taking salt baths. I take Epsom salt baths regularly. It's actually a need for me. Um, um, Grounding with soil. If you live in a place where it's too cold right now to put your feet on the soil or even make contact with the soil because it's the snow and ice and stuff, bring dirt into the home. Um, there was one year where I'd forgotten to have a container outside of soil, because what I'd been doing is after it started to freeze, I'd bring it in and let the soil be in the house, and it would thaw, and I could put my feet on it. You can play it with your hands, and this also does this ionization process. However, there's been times where I ended up buying soil at the garden center, and this has also worked. And so the thing that I do is I'll have my feet on in at least for 5 minutes a day, barefoot, sole on the soil, um, or 10 minutes with our hands. I find it to be most fun with the hands only because then we're in a place of play, especially if you get like little like Hot Wheels, like tractors and stuff. And like, let yourself play. It's okay. There's no embarrassment there. Though at first, most of us will find that there's some type of, we're embarrassed and we're like, oh, I hope no one's hearing me. The other part of that too is that when we're talking kindly to ourselves, we didn't finish that, um, is that as we're talking, if we hear ourselves saying low self-worth talk, we always want to then start to say kind things to ourselves about ourselves. And that's embarrassing at first. I found it to be very difficult, all by myself, the kiddos asleep at night, and I'm hiding under my blanket in a closed door, and there was still like this cringe kind of thing when I say I'm awesome, I love you, those types of things. After a while, you get used to it, and there's no more cringe, and it's easier to do. This really does help. This is the work that we do to elevate the water in our body. As we speak to the water in our body, it hears anything that we say and think. The frequency of the words isn't from voice. Voice just brings in the power of it often. Um, and so allowing yourself to do this as well as to play, be silly. There is no judgment. In fact, what you're doing is helping, even those who may comment in a unkind way, you can feel them, that you assisted them in some way, getting to be part of that joy, so um, there's just a lot happening right now with this, pink salt scrub. Rusty says, mix with olive oil, rub all over, then soak off in bath. There's another one. There's also the Celtic salt. Um, oh my goodness. There's another one. I feel like it's called Egyptian salt. I was just watching Josie Jackson. She's Fifth Essentials LLC, a channel that is really awesome. If anybody is interested in looking for some of these really useful tips, she's really good at bringing this stuff forward. Anyway, these different kinds of salt, just a little bit on our body and underneath our tongue, really, before you take a drink of water, it really helps. Um, and so I know that as we continue to evolve, that we're going to find more and more. We're just going to naturally know what to do. And you already do, I would say. It's just that we have our own judgments and our own things that we do, and saying um, whether or not, great Uncle Paul told me this causes gangrene. I don't know. And your body knows. Listening to your body right now, your body's speaking to you. That's the other part of this that a lot of people may be aware of and may not, is that as our body um, begins to speak to us, at first it's kind of more timid conversation, because at least in my experience, I taught my body not to trust me. You could kind of like the relationship that you're trying to create with a previously neglected child. This kiddo needs to learn that they're safe and that they're okay, and then that you won't do something that's unkind. As an example, your body says that it's thirsty, and instead you reach for a powdered donut, kind of thing. you know I know for me, I spent a lot of time of my earlier life, instead of listening to my body about what foods it didn't want to have, I would just take an antacid, or even I was even on prescription medication for things like this for a while. Once I started to listen to my body, and didn't force her to just deal with it, more and more she started to speak to me. And your body will tell you what they need, what your body needs, and just listen. It becomes more of a conversation over time as well. It becomes more evolved, and more understanding can come through. So. Oh, I love you, Fleur de Lis. Thank you so much for the 1111. That's so sweet of you. There's um, one other thing that we can really do to help ourselves at this time as well, is um, taking extra breaks. Taking extra breaks. You can have very short breaks, and multiple breaks. If we're in the corporate world, or we're in a work setting, even at the store, you can take a break to the bathroom and go on one of the what do they, I want to call it, what's it called? Bathroom stall. Close the bathroom stall door and let yourself be, just for a moment, just your energy, and doing like we were talking about, being in that 0 point, noticing this beautiful light spark. It looks kind of like a diamond to me, and it's white usually, and it just, every time I breathe out, it grows and glows brighter and brighter and brighter, and it pushes all energy that is not in favor of mine out. And it's okay. It's not bad energy. It's just not in alignment with mine. And as it goes out, then I can find my center again. Um, this only takes a few moments, and um, right now at this time, when there's a lot of this density kind of energy moving through us, we're noticing that we need to do this a little bit more frequently than we are used to. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just what's needed for us right now. There's a lot coming up, and it's kind of like um, a surface that's getting dustier faster, and we just are just you know allowing the stuff to move off, and so there's a little bit more maintenance, I suppose, happening right now. So uh, allowing yourself to have this space, and to even what I call naps. I actually don't sleep. I allow myself to rest with my eyes closed and just be. Often I'm doing breathing technique, and it turns into a lot of downloads usually. Though in this space, I am finding that it is like sleep, because I'll arise from this place and feel invigorated, reinvigorated, and more capable. You are able to do all of these things. All of the stuff that's coming in, some of it can feel really big. You are powerful, and you are already, skilled and practiced in this way. It's simply recalling it in the moment that you're in. So be gentle with yourself if you would. Give yourself the extra time that it needs. And also, big point, lots of extra water lately. And so if you can allow yourself to drink the extra water, this will really help. Clean water. We purchase our water now. There's a lot of really useful things about this. And one of them is that I can see how much we're drinking. And we've more than doubled the amount that we've been drinking lately. So, and I'm still thirsty. In fact, as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to probably have 2 more things of water. So anyway, I should get going. I love you all so much. Thank you all for understanding and for joining me today. I know this isn't my typical time to do this, and to have 130 people here, I really appreciate it. I love you all. Please know that you're not alone. And as these next few days happen, there's going to be some more cool stuff coming in. And when it comes in, know that it's temporary. Know that what's happening is not how it's going to stay. There's nothing that you're doing wrong. And that as it comes in, just breathe and let yourself be. Give yourself, if you can, permission to not have to be busy all the time. You don't have to in order to be accomplishing anything. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we are doing a lot of work in rest. So allow yourself the rest. Be gentle with yourself. You're doing a lot of work. I love you.